I love My First Million podcast. For regular listeners, I often speak about them, and this is another representation of My First Million. Sean Perry, he is absolutely, I'm trying to find the notes now. Gee, I read it now. He is absolutely wonderful. So Friday, taking to the weekend. We don't want to think about small boy thinking. Small boy thinking is exactly that. It's small boy thinking. We're big boy thinking. So, what is small boy thinking? Sean Perry says it's the three W's, and it's waiting, worrying, and wanting. And the problem is, I probably do all three. However, the way he describes it, and I'll explain in a minute, it gives me a reference point to think, do you know what? I'm doing that now. So that's small boy thinking. I don't want to think small. I want to think big. I want to think grand. I want to take over the world. I want to be in physically an amazing shape. I want to have enough money that it's never a question of money. And so that for me, I don't want to think small, and nor should you. We should never ever think small. We should never ever cap what our expectations are of ourselves. We should think big and think massive. Even when you're thinking massive, it's probably too small. When I was in my previous house, I had very little money. And by the way, I'm not saying we're rich now or anything like that, but we're significantly better off than we was before. And we're stacking things, we're stacking value, we're stacking company value. And we were significantly worse off before. And I remember on my birthday once, I read a book about you must write down your goals. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to write down my goals. And I must have wrote down 20 to 30 goals. And for me, at that point, it looked incredibly unlikely that I was ever going to get them. And I can't find this bloody goal book anywhere, but I used to read them morning and night before I went to bed. And they was fantastic. For me, it reaffirmed what I wanted. One of the biggest things I wanted was a black VW van, 38 grand. I couldn't comprehend spending £38,000 on a van. Couldn't comprehend it. Now, not to brag or boast or anything, I've got the super duper deluxe camper van now, that all singing, all dancing. A brand spanking new one. I had the black one that I wanted. I wrote it down, got it, and then I sold it and got this better one now. The house of my dreams. I described the house of my dreams. Guess what? It's unbelievably exactly what I described here. But the problem is, I achieve them goals because I put them down. No small boy thinking. However, I do think that them dreams and goals, even though at that point, there was realistically so high, I couldn't even think about achieving them. But now I'm here. 6 years later, I've achieved almost every single one of those goals. I've probably surpassed a lot of them as well. And so now, when I'm writing down my goals, which is on my list to do this next week, I need to make sure that my goals are astronomically huge. And if your goals don't scare you and you don't think you can't get there, if you don't question how the hell you're going to achieve that, then your goals are too small. Your goals must be huge. Anyway, so no small boy thinking. Number one is waiting. If you find yourself waiting to do something, it's a small boy move. Small boy mentality. You're focused on the wrong things. I love that. Waiting to do something. Waiting for the time's right. Bullshit. Wait. Absolutely ridiculous games. Poor man game. Small boy move. Yes. Worrying, and this is, I fall into this trap all the time. Worrying hasn't done anybody any good ever. You have to worry less and do more. There's no point in just worrying less and not doing anything. You have to worry less and do more. Worrying is small boy thinking. Boom. Wanting. If you're wanting what other people have, that's small boy thinking. People are happiest when they want what they have versus what they don't have. Right. People are happiest when they want what they have versus wanting what they don't have. I get it. Sorry, it's my writing. Right. People are happiest when they want what they have versus wanting what they don't have. I love it. If you find yourself small boy thinking, it's more often than not one of the three W's: wanting, worrying, and waiting. That is 100% true. I find myself, I'm guilty of the first two. I'm not so guilty of wanting because I don't really want what other people have. I want what I have. I don't go around, I'm never jealous. Apart from, I was actually talking about this the other day. The only person I'm really jealous of in the world, anybody else who does good, I'm really happy for them, really pleased with them. And I think that majority of people deserve the success. And there's one person who I'm jealous of, and that's Jack Grealish. He is living out my fantasy, winning the treble and then just partying and just living in the moment, absolutely loving it. Every single clip I see him on TikTok or YouTube or whatever, I'm just like, I'm actually quite jealous. Don't get me wrong, I'm a massive Jack Grealish fan. 100% deserves it. The work, the effort, everything he puts into it, unbelievably deserves it. But yeah, I'm a little jealous. So if you're finding yourself thinking it's more, so if you find yourself small boy thinking it's more often one of these 3 W's. Waiting, yes, I have done that in the past. Wait until everything's right. I'll do it next week. Like, for example, the newsletter. Just about ready now, just about ready. But I've been waiting for ages to do it. Ridiculous. Worrying. I definitely worry. I shouldn't worry. I should just do. All right, my friends, that's the end of the episode. I love you. I appreciate you. And I'll see you tomorrow when we have got a brilliant book to talk about. Can't wait to do that episode. See you soon.